What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in yet again. We are back on a roll with the videos. Thank you guys for watching the last one, and today we are jumping back on the OBS 7.3 real quick. Just going to go over what we got going on. So the truck basically is not running exactly how I'd like it to, or how I envisioned it. You get on it and you do a full pull and it fuels extremely nice and hard down low, but we start getting up top and it's almost like the truck is defueling. You can't really tell it by driving. It still feels like it's pulling hard, but just not anything like I would expect it to. And I've rode in a couple trucks here recently with 300, 200s and smaller Chargers and stuff like that, and this truck doesn't hold a candle to that. Those trucks way outpull this one. So I know that this truck has more in it, so I need to figure it out. Adam is on his way, and we're going to do some recording and some pulls and see if we maybe have got it figured out. We're going to check fuel pressure and a couple other odds and ends like that. One reason I bring that up is I don't know if the lift pump is keeping up with these 450 400s. So it has a sumped AirDog 165 5G on it with a custom regulated return on it, and I have no idea if that will continue to hold fuel pressure, and I've not watched it, so that's my bad. We're going to check it today and see if maybe it's dropping fuel pressure. Basically the reason I want to go after that is because on a wide open throttle pull, when you can tell the smoke clears up, it shoots a flame and it holds it, but all the other trucks I've rode in, they just billow the smoke. They don't ever clear up, even with similar sized Chargers. So that's kind of why I think we got a fuel issue going on, which I could be wrong. We do have a boost fooler in the truck, so I don't know if that's the issue. We're going to check that today as well. It's got a riffraff boost fooler. And then I don't know if you guys checked on the video when I did this truck and everything, but I actually took the exhaust back pressure sensor and did not plumb it into the headers. I actually plumbed it into the intake plenum to see if I could watch actual boost, and it works to an extent, but it doesn't read very accurately. It's all over the place on a graph. And I actually did a little bit of reading on that and found out that the EBP can also cause the truck to defuel when it sees too much back pressure. So pretty sure that is an issue that we've had going on, and especially with what this truck probably makes boost wise, I'm sure it's freaking that sensor out real bad. So what I did was I just took it out of the plenum and I plugged it. So right there you can see between the lines, and I just left the sensor plugged in and left it in the valley. So it's reading atmosphere air right now. So we'll see if maybe that was the issue. I'm not positive. I won't know until we drive it. But while we're driving it, we're going to check those things as well. I went ahead and also maxed out the spring as hard as I could in the AirDog to get max pressure out of the AirDog. And then I went ahead and actually lowered the pressure. I had it set at 70 up here, and I've bumped it down to around 62, 65 PSI on the regulated return right there. So if you guys don't know about that, there's an issue that basically if you don't have it set that way, the AirDog will basically bypass the regulated return and return fuel straight to the tank under hard pulls. So that could be the issue as well. A bunch of different stuff that I've trying to kind of iron out on the truck, which is normal on a new setup like this. You're going to have your quirks, but hopefully we get it figured out today. So I'm going to go ahead and get the truck fired up here, get it warmed up. That way we can go do some pulls in it. And I really need to give this thing a bath. I've only drove it like, I don't know, like 3 times in the past like 4 months, and I haven't even cleaned the top of it. Oh my God, that's disgusting. Yeah, that's terrible. We need to do something about that. But yep, let's go ahead. Let's get this thing fired up. Adam and Tyler are on their way, and they're going to do some recording while we drive. So yeah, let's fire this thing up, guys. Little side note here I wanted to throw in. I wanted to give a big, huge shout out to my man Brandon at the 7-3 Garage. That dude's the man. If you guys have never checked out that YouTube channel, you're missing out. That's probably one of my, actually, it's definitely my favorite Powerstroke related YouTube channel. So definitely go check him out. He is the man. We did some trading on some stickers. I definitely had to represent my man there. So definitely represent the people that represent you. So got that slapped on there. Super stoked. It looks awesome on there. You already know that the more stickers you have, the more horsepower you have. So you guys should know that. That right there adds like 100 horsepower just in that damn 7.3 sticker. But I got it pulled up here. Let's go ahead and we're going to plumb in some gauges and get ready to go drive it. Moved it off. It's still staying. I know it's good. I hate the way that 4-link looks on this truck. Can't stand it. Let's do the same way we did last time. Yeah. Last time, every time I drove it, when it hits that, it always clears the smoke up and it's like it don't want to go. Man, I wish we had a boost gauge on there. Man, I wish we had a boost gauge on there. Well, we can, as long as this is good, we can swap it, right? Back done to quit using a quarter of the pedal to stretch that sucker out. But I also don't like how Kaepernick's tunes run. I feel like it's too much like. Yeah, They used to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that don't matter. The regulator's set.
Regular set at 65, so if we go...
So you crank that up to 75, 80.
So as long as we go over it...
Then maybe when it sucks it down, it'll suck it to 50 or 60. Yeah. You're already lower than what you need to be on fuel pressure. But it's not out of the equation, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely fucking pulls hard.
Oh yeah, I mean, it kept a tire going there for however long.
Yeah, she was still going there. You want to swap it out for boost, or do you want to go get on the interstate?
I think I'm going to swap it out for boost. Stay in the woods and don't shift early.
I just need to figure this out, really.
Yeah, I ain't never gonna come up in that gear. Could have been some nasty one right here in front of us. He like burnout. Getting some air in there.
Look behind you. Look behind us. God, what's on fire? Holy shit. I'm just gonna turn around. I'm just gonna turn around, that's all we need to know.
Don't let it go too far.
What? Gears.
You let off too much.
All right, guys, couple days later after we went and did some rip and pulls in this unit, and we have definitely figured out a bunch of different issues with the truck. Not really super serious ones by any means, but first being the EBP sensor 1000% fixed, our pulling up top issue was definitely defueling. You can tell in the videos. I know I've not posted a lot of videos of doing pulls in this thing, But prior to the videos you saw in this video, it would basically get up top, and then we would just basically start shooting a solid orange flame out of the stack, but it just really wasn't pulling as hard as I would like it to. Basically, not like it was falling on its face, but it just didn't have any ass. And now you can't even keep the tires from blowing off of it. So definitely happy we figured that issue out. But we also, in the process of figuring that issue out, found a couple different ones. One not being a problem, we found what the boost pressure is. We don't have a boost gauge on this. It's making 60 psi, which is great. We don't have any leaks or anything, so that's solid. That's one of the information points that we figured out. But the next thing that we figured out is we are dropping fuel pressure very drastically. Wide open throttle, it's going down and sucking it down to basically, I think the lowest I saw it was 38, 35 psi. Definitely way too low. Just real quick recap on the fuel system on this truck. We have a AirDog 165 5G, one of the brand new units, with a Bronco tank that is sumped, and that comes up and is fed into our custom made regulated return that's mounted right there. We feed into both, we feed into the front of the heads here and return out the back just like a 6-liter would be. It's identical. So instead of on this engine, normally on 7.3s that you would see, we feed into a little itty bitty like 1/4-inch MPT plug up top. We do not do that. I drilled out and run basically a dash 6 AN line to the front of the head where the banjo bolt used to be. So that's a real quick recap on the fuel system on the truck. And so our AirDog is maxed out. I have the spring completely pushed in. So it should be pushing somewhere around 70 PSI, if not a little bit more. And I have the regulated return set at 65 PSI, and we were watching the regulated return on the gauge during the pull. So what I'm gonna do now is I've done over the past night, I did an extensive amount of reading, and basically what I have found that people do is we're going to basically take the fuel return port that is on the AirDog that goes back to the tank, and we're going to take that completely out, and I'm going to plug the fuel return on the AirDog, and then I'm going to bump fuel pressure up on the regulated return to probably 75, and then we'll go drive it again, make sure we're not dropping pressure, and if I need to go up from there, we will. And obviously, if it continues to drop pressure, our AirDog is not going to be enough, and unfortunately, I will have to jump up to a fast unit or an Aeromotive. I'm really big on the AirDogs. I've never had to warranty one. I love them lift pumps, and I hate the way fast is sound, and I've heard a lot of bad stuff about them. So I'd rather stick with an AirDog, but obviously if we're kind of SOL, I'm going to have to do what I have to do. So we're going to do that today. That's my big goal. I want to go ahead and get that off. So basically I just have it ran straight to the top of the tank. So I'm just going to plug it off at the AirDog, take that line completely out, and cap the top of the tank. And then I'll come over here and we will just get the spring pressure and set it up to 75. And then next issue, which we probably won't get fixed in this video, I have to reach out to Brian at Jelly Built. Our rev limit, if you saw our one burnout video there, it's basically coming right up and wrapping up to 4,000 RPM and then just banging limiter at 4,000 RPM. This engine is definitely meant to be in the higher RPM, so I definitely need to get that bumped up to probably 5,000 RPM is where I'll bump it up to. So I need to reach out to him and get that taken care of, and I think that's it. I think that's our biggest issues. Definitely need to chill with the burnouts. We've already gone through half the tread on these drag slicks, so I need to chill out with that. But I haven't had the truck running this good, so I'm having a lot of fun with it. And yeah, I think our next thing as well is I've got our nitrous. The way it is plumbed is I've got basically both the solenoids just on a button, and they are at the biggest jet sizes in both solenoids. So I think what I'm going to do is probably go ahead, and I won't do it in this video, but I have a maximizer that I've never used over here. Yeah, right there. Got a maximizer 5 that we've never used. So I guess what I need to do is probably go ahead and plumb that in and wire that all up. That way we can go ahead and have both solenoids do different things. Definitely need to get one of the solenoids as a spool jet. It does not want to come up. Obviously the turbo is way too big. As far as the turbine side, it's a 96 wheel. Very hard to get it to come up. You saw in one of those videos where I was trying to get it to come up, and it starts coming up, and if you just lay into it too soon, it just snuffs the charger and basically locks the converter, and you're not doing nothing. So very difficult to drive, I would say, but definitely a lot easier to drive now than it was before we fixed the EBP issue. Before, it would not come up at all, period. It would just basically sit out there, not spin the tire, and just bog and just create toxic clouds. So definitely need to get a spool jet in this thing so when we do go racing, because I know for a fact that if the back tires were not spinning, the turbo probably would never come up. So it's definitely not going to come up when we have it in four-wheel drive and trying to launch it. I know for a fact it won't. So need to get a spool jet plumbed into it, probably get the maximizer plumbed in. That way we can use one solenoid way up top and it can spray all the nitrous up top. But that's our data that we figured out. I'm happy we went ahead and jumped on it and did it. Big thanks to Adam. Like I said, he always goes above and beyond for me and helps me where he can. So I think he's coming back over today, and just to verify that we got our fuel pressure issue fixed, he's got a super cool digital gauge that you saw in that video, where basically it's Bluetooth and we can just basically leave it in the valley and he can watch all the data on his phone. Super cool gauge there. Think we're going to use that again today, make sure our fuel pressure issue is fixed, and then I can reach out to Brian. But let's go ahead and start doing some work on this thing. Let's get this air dog return capped off. All right, so if you look at our air dog here, I'll grab my flashlight. Our little one right here, closest to me, is our return port. So we're going to go ahead, and that's the one we're going after today. I'm going to go ahead and just pop this guy off with our squeeze clamp. No fuel, so we're good there. Probably gonna have to pull that out. I'm not sure what the size that is, so I'm probably gonna have to go get a fitting for it. But I can go ahead and get this line out of here. This goes to the top of the tank, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that fitting pulled out real quick. There she blows. Well, we're back at the shop. Like you saw, we had to make a trip. I did not have anything this size. For y'all that are wondering, your return port on the 5Gs only, the 4Gs are smaller. The 5Gs have a -4 orb, which is O-ring boss thread. I think it's 7/16 or something like that. But just ran up to a hydraulic shop, and they said they had one of these, saved me from going to Morristown. So I may have to just knock this flare off, but we're going to try it first. But that should be it, guys. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to see if this fits and plug that off. And if it does, we'll go ahead and finish taking off the rest of that return line. All right, so before I go ahead and take that line completely out of the truck, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the key on and verify that we still have fuel pressure. You never know. Everything I read was for a fast unit. Obviously, Air Dog's a little bit different. So gonna make sure we still have pressure, and then we will continue. So we are good, got pressure. So now we can go ahead, take the line out completely, cap it off at the top of the sending unit, and go ahead and bump our pressure up on our regulator. All right, well, I just took a lovely bath in fuel, and that is some stinking stuff because it's that race fuel. Yeah, so awesome stuff right there. But what I'm gonna do is I believe I'm going to leave the line, my return line, still hooked up to the tank and everything. And then I've got these cool little aluminum block off plugs. And what I'll do is I'll just zip tie that line up just in case we have any issues for any reason. I can go ahead and return it to the way that it was before, and I don't have to try and fight that line back in there, because it's extremely hard to get my hand up in there where the sending unit is at on this truck, because it's just very, very tight. So I'm gonna plug it off, zip tie it up and everything, and probably go change shirts and try and get all this fuel out of my beard. So. All right, I believe I've got it where I want it at here, up on the regulator. It's a little bit past 70 right now. So I'm gonna leave it right there for now, and then we can go do our testing, and if it drops, I'll bump it up some more. What else? Let's see here. I still got the back jacked up. I believe I'm gonna go ahead and get these wheels and tires pulled off and put some beaters I've got laying around, so I don't annihilate these anymore when we go drive it. So probably gonna do us a nasty burnout. All right, guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for me. I think that's enough of a beating for the week on the white truck here. Definitely been hot. The stack is now gold, which looks pretty sick. Fuel pressure is good. It dropped to about 50 psi, so I'm going to bump it up just a little bit more, and I think we'll be okay. Definitely not clearing up anymore, so now we're getting good fuel. And as soon as Brian gets back to me at Jellybuilt, we're going to bump limiter up to 5,000 RPM and keep it there. It's hitting 4,000 and staying right there. But yeah, I think it's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's because of you guys that I get to do stuff like this, and I hope it continues to grow. I love you guys so much. If you haven't already, go check out the website. Buy yourself some cool merch. We got the badass 80s 7.3 sticker on there. And I will see you guys on the next video. I love you guys. Bye.